Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Money in the Law, right here on my FM 101.3 with your host, Jay Marsden from the Marsden Law Group, and I'm John Drohan from Main Effort Financial. We are also joined by our dear friend, Christian Bidet from the House and Cable Access TV. We had a little break. We had the kind of the 4th of July break.
And we did the 4th of July. Quite a break, I might add. Quite a break.
That's right. It was quite a break. I did see you. As I drove by your office on Monday morning, you looked like you had just come back from 4th of July.
Well, a buddy of mine said to me the other day, he goes, I can tell when you've been away for a couple of days, maybe splashing around down the Cape, which I know we're going to talk about on the show today. But he says, I can tell because you kind of come back. You look a little. I think his definition was you look a little puffy.
I wasn't going to say that.
No. I'm just saying. I probably, at that point when I saw you, a Gatorade would have probably helped me out. Would have helped me out. I'm not going to lie to you.
I didn't see you from that close. I did notice that you were wearing sandals and your dress shirt was untucked.
Yes.
But that's kind of like your summer look.
That's right. That's how we roll over
I didn't think you looked puffy. I think you looked. You weren't walking upright. You were a little tired. Maybe you were doing some recycling.
Yeah, I was recycling. That's right. I had to bring some of the recycling off Cape. I had so much to recycle they wouldn't take it all.
Right. Yeah. Both my recycling bins are full in Cape Cod. I got to bring these home.
Sir, you're blowing way through your recycling limit.
Your recycling allocation.
I'm not sure that you single-handedly need to make the Cisco Brewery the nation's #1 seller of. So let's try to work something out around here. Huh? Why don't you take your foot off the gas just a little bit?
You know what? I don't need the nickel. You know what? You guys keep it. You guys do what you want with it.
Go to it, fellas.
Yeah,
Go to it. Go to it. How was your holiday?
It was good. It was really good. Yeah, we went down also to Cape Cod to see. That's 4th of July and Thanksgiving are like our two holidays where everybody descends to my mother's house. So yeah, it was good, and it's the same show. And like we said, maybe we may elaborate a little bit more on kind of what happens down there based on our conversation before the show and what we decided to talk about today. Which if you were thinking about turning off the radio. If you're thinking about changing the channel on the TV,
put your hand in your pocket.
Put your hand. Do yourself a favor and just stop right there.
Yep.
You need to listen to this because, although our show is designed to give you, stimulus information about things financial and things legal, today we're going to go a little bit off the beaten path.
Well, recognizing that sometimes some of the topics that we discuss on the show might be a little bit heavy, right? Might get a little bit cerebral, right? And I know that many times you're driving around and you're saying to yourself, I understand what they're saying, but my head hurts from thinking about it. Even though they're doing a great job explaining it to me, my head still hurts. So every once in a while, we like to take a little pause in the action and take our foot completely off the gas and talk about something that's a little bit lighter, but around some type of topic that we may cover in the show down the road. For example, one of the things we talked about preparing for the show was the idea of trust planning around your vacation home. And what they call maybe a cottage trust or a property trust or however you want to define it. But we talked about the idea of how you set up protecting and preserving your vacation home.
Now get your hand away from that dial right now because I know you're getting ready to turn it.
Nope, stop.
No, stay with us. Stay with us.
Hear me out. That, of course, led to, well, why would you be so intent on trying to preserve or protect, for example, a place that you may have purchased for a family member 1,000,000 years ago, and you want your kids to enjoy it, and you want to have the same sense of satisfaction and enjoyment that you've had all these years. So why would you try to preserve this for your family? And John and I said, well, why don't we use today's show to say, why wouldn't you want to work around protecting your family's home? Because what would you possibly do with a place down the beach, right? Oh my God, what am I doing with my time? So today's show is dedicated to the idea of here's all the reasons, although what we think are fun reasons, as to why you would like to try, if you haven't done it, why you need to start seriously considering preserving and protecting we're going to go with the Cape Cod Beach House.
We're gonna go with the Cape Cod Beach House, and we'll take it even a step further. Let's say that let's say you don't have a Cape Cod Beach House. Let's say that you know somebody who has a Cape Cod Beach House, or let's say you just feel like you want to go visit Cape Cod and you're going to rent a Cape Cod Beach House. This show applies to you as well because you are now going to learn from firsthand experience about two guys who may have a little bit of experience in Cape Cod.
Maybe.
So that's what we're going to talk about today. All we're going to do is just tell a few stories, relay some we'll call it valuable information, right?
Yeah.
Valuable information that we think is valuable about just some, what we, our little area of expertise.
Oh,
in
and
Cape
by the
Cod.
way, the way the timing usually works out for this, it's almost like it was designed for this. You quite possibly could be listening to this show about why you want to protect and preserve
On your way.
your Cape Cod place on your way down 495 or 93, right?
Yeah.
On your way to either the Sagamore or the Bourne Bridge, possibly beginning your Cape Cod adventure because it's Saturday. It's what they call turnover day. So everyone's going down to turn over the properties, kicking everybody out who's going off property, right? Because you're coming on to start your vacation. So they're going off. They look right now, pay attention. Everyone leaving the Cape looks like you're going to look in a week, right? Sunburned, unshaven, unkempt, covered in salt, covered in sand.
Yeah.
Very, very happy. They just made some memories. Some of them they might not even remember, but they made a lot of memories.
Some non-memorable memories.
Yes. So when we come back from the break, that's what the show is going to be all about. So put on your sunscreen.
You're going to need sunscreen
To
listen to this show.
Look for your sunglasses.
Yeah.
Don't turn the radio. And when we come back, we're going to talk about all the reasons why you need to right now get in front of this idea of saying, you know what? We want to preserve our Cape Cod property so that we can preserve and protect this Cape Cod legacy for our future
we're going to tell you
generations.
why. All right,
we're going to tell you why in a minute.
We'll be right back.
And we're back. Money in the Law, My FM 101.3. Jay Marsden, Marsden Law Group, John Drohan, Main Effort Financial. John pointed out a very important fact. If you are heading north, coming off the Cape, don't listen to the show. Because all we're going to do is remind you about all the things you're not going to do this week that you just did.
Everything you just missed.
And you're all bummed out. So you get one of two options. You can either turn the radio off or get off at the next exit, turn around, do a U-turn, get back in traffic,
There you go.
and head back down the Cape.
There you go. You see that traffic? Get in it.
So I'm going to start it off by saying there's a certain, I used to think years ago, this wasn't a thing, all right? This idea of you're zipping down the highway, you're in Franklin, you're ripping through Rentham, you're whipping through Lakeville, you're on your way, and then people would say, well, you get the bridge.
Yeah.
And we're not going to talk about traffic because I don't care about that. It's not an issue. We're not going to talk about it. But I used to think this wasn't a thing. You tell me if I'm insane or not. There's something about zipping over that bridge. There's something about, you feel different. You feel like a different person when you're on this side of the bridge, and then you go over the canal, and you're like, ooh, why does everything feel? Why did my vision get better? Why did my hair grow while I was going over the bridge? Did I lose 10 pounds? Why do I feel like $1 million?
I feel so good.
I feel unbelievable.
So it's so funny.
Bulletproof.
So since my mom moved up there, right? So since my mom moved up there about 22 years ago. So since they've been living up there, that was the rule of thumb. The rule was call us when you get over the bridge, right? Call us when you get, because until you're over the bridge, you're not here.
You're
right?
persona non grata.
Exactly.
You're like Kaiser Sose. I don't even know if you exist until you get over the bridge.
That's right. So until you're over the bridge, that once you're there, you call us. And that for me, it's always been. So I've been going to Cape Cod since I was 6 years old. So 6 years when growing up in Connecticut. This was the only place that we went on vacation from that summer onward.
For all the obvious reasons.
Right, and it was a show. It evolved, and we've talked about this before. It evolved to like where we would always go with this other family. At the height of it, the other family had older children, so then their friends would strap hang on. So we could have upwards of 40 people, in and around like, one or two or three houses that we all rented. It was all rental houses. But I remember that feeling, and, so coming from Connecticut, it was a 4-hour ride. So this is finishing hour number 3 to number 4.
Yeah.
So as you come over that bridge and you see those hedges, right?
Yeah.
You see the Cape Cod spelled out in hedges. It was like I was entering the gates of heaven. It was fantastic. So you're right. So once you're there, once I'm over, and then it's like, and then it's game time. And you mentioned about traffic, right? Everybody who has ever gone to Cape Cod at some point has hit traffic, right?
Oh.
There's been some traffic. So you know what? Just get around it. Just get past it. Just let it go.
The best way it was ever explained to me, good friend of mine from back in my days at a small mutual fund company in town, the great Gretchen Golembowski, GG. She had her parents had a place down in the Cape. And I was standing around complaining one day about the traffic on the Cape, because that's how my father and mother grew up. So always traffic on the Cape, traffic. And she looks at me and she goes, "Look, I'm going to stop right there." She put your hand up. She goes, "Stop right there." Right? It was like that scene from Meatloaf. Stop right there. Right? So she says, "Look, forget it." She goes, "You have two decisions. You have two decisions to make. All right? You're either going to not go, which is fine, right? Or you're going to go and you're not going to complain about the traffic. Yeah. There's no third option. If you don't want to deal with the traffic, don't go.
There's a third option, and as you well know, right? You want to, start your journey instead of starting it at 3 in the afternoon.
Right.
Start your journey at 9 at night.
Right.
So if you
you're right. I'm sorry. There are options, but what you were saying here, your options were not complain. Your options were not complain. It's either don't go.
Shut up. Right.
Yeah, that's right. Don't go or go. Yeah. All right, but stop you complaining. She goes, "You know what? There's a reason the traffic is bad. Because guess what? Because everybody wants to be there. Because why? Because it's Cape Cod. Yeah. Everybody wants to be there, right?" So she said, "Leave it alone." I said, "You know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right." It was
okay.
All right, go.
So you're on Cape Cod. You get there. So
you're over the bridge. Now you count.
We're gonna talk about so the area that I'm familiar with is where my mom lives and where we always used to vacation, which is the lower Cape, which is down in the East Ham Wellfleet vicinity.
Sure.
So we're going to talk about that, and Jay's going to talk about where his stomping grounds, which is essentially pretty much everybody probably in that area now knows him, and they're like,
carried away.
You mean that guy from that weird town where next to where the marathon starts? Oh, I know that guy.
We would put that as we're in the Mid Cape area.
You are in Mid Cape. Yep. You're in the and that's like the hub, right? That's where
that's the bicep.
Yeah,
But everyone puts their arm out and says, "Where are you on the Cape?" And they make the muscle sign.
That is the heartbeat.
We're in the bicep. Yeah. The lower bicep.
Yeah, that is
the bingo arm. The bingo arm part of it.
So let's talk. I got a couple things. I have beaches, activities, and restaurants. All right.
Okay.
So we'll start. Tell us about what do the Marsdens do for fun in that bicep area?
Well, I got to tell you. So you talk about beaches, right? So again, if you're on the Cape, whether you own a cottage that you're going to put into some type of protected trust down the road, or you're there for like the week on vacation, if the key to me, from my perspective, that makes the magic work is the beach pass.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you talk about coming over the bridge and you see the gates of heaven, getting the beach pass in April, that's like getting the keys to the door that's going to let you in to heaven. Because when the beach pass comes, now the ability to go to the beach becomes almost no effort, right? And it seems like, you're not in line that much longer than the guy next to you who's from New York who's paying for the day, but it's like sailing by those people. And again, as you're going right down the line and you don't have to give anybody any money, you just get to go to your parking spot, I think you lose 10 pounds. And I think you take a minute off your mile just sailing by all those people because you're like, this is awesome.
Jay looks so good. We need to post some pictures, Cape Cod pictures of you. Yeah. We'll get.
But so that's the thing about and as everybody I hope knows, consistently on a regular basis, go down any list. Best beaches in the U.S. Guess what's always on there? A Cape Cod beach, right? It's always on there. So you're a 5-iron away from some of the best oceanfront real estate in the country. You go to the Outer Cape. You go to the Cape Cod National Seashore. Thank you, John F. Kennedy, right? You go to these places, and it is. It's a view that, to your point, people build 365 days a year to get to and see that view. And if you're down there a lot, or you have the ability to be down there a lot, you can go anywhere you want. And so a beach day for us is get up in the morning, throw some sandwiches in the cooler, maybe some adult beverages. Somebody hopefully remembers to put some stuff in there for the kids.
Beverage. All right, you kids thirsty?
You guys thirsty?
You bet we are.
You didn't put anything in the cooler? I guess you can't have one of these. Okay. And we get to the beach, and we hang on the beach, and we sit on the beach, and guess what everybody does? Everybody talks.
Yep.
Everybody laughs. Guess what everybody doesn't do? They don't get on their phone.
So the beach, the beaches that we go to, speaking of the phone, so oddly enough, coincidentally enough, by the grace of God enough, so you go to the beach up in Wellfleet, as soon as you hit the parking lot, your phone, there's no service for your phone. So there's no tech, there's nothing, there's no community. And in some ways, we'll talk a little bit about some of the other things that happen, but that's a little bit dangerous as far as, not having community. Right. But at the end of the day, no one's on their phone because their phones don't work.
That's right.
And so for as long as we're there, and we never thought about this. We never kind of planned it and said, oh, well, this is a reason to go. But it just worked out that way. And there you are. You're on the beach. And all I have to do is talk to you. All I have to do is, do beach activities with you guys or go swimming or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's and all of a sudden it's all I have. All we have is one another. And that's.
And you roll in, and what do? First thing you do, you look for the board that says how warm's the water, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this time of the year, starting to break 70 with some consistency. Thank God, that's my area. Yeah. That's my zone.
That's your swim zone. Yeah.
58. I'm like, yeah, it's good. That's good. I'm gonna get a burger. I'm not going in. I'm all set.
58.
Thank you very much, right? But get to the 70s, and I'll muscle through, right? But so the beaches, and they're all phenomenal, and they all carry a different bit of different characteristic with them. Some of them you got to get to at the crack of dawn because parking is limited. Some of them, if you don't go at the right time, you're going to kind of get shut out. There's a method to the madness. When you first come onto the beach, you can sit near the clubhouse and you can sit near the snack shack, or you say to yourself, let's move away. We'll walk back, right? So when you're little, obviously kids are little, you got to be kind of near all the action, but as kids get older, you can kind of move away a little bit, gets a little more secluded, which is nice. I only say that because we were down there this weekend. Now it's 4th of July weekend, so let's just all.
It's a big weekend.
Let's all look at the vision of there's probably some people coming to the beach, right?
Sure.
4th of July, it's 85, it's hot, it's humid.
Was perfect, right?
Some guy, I don't know who he was, his name. If I did, I wouldn't give you his name. But somebody decides today's the day, 4th of July, 85 degrees out. We're going to set up the full-size regulation volleyball net. We're going to take up like 3/4 of the beach with this volleyball net because we played volleyball for 10 minutes, and then everybody else has to sit on top of each other.
Because we played beach volleyball in college.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. So let's put aside the Top Gun, imagery for a second. Let's think about beach etiquette, right? Beach etiquette. When you get on the beach, all right, give yourself some room, give yourself some distance, because you know what? Because somebody else is going to decide to squeeze in, wherever you are. So if you come into the beach, look around, right? Let's try to there's plenty of room. Let's all try to spread out a little bit, okay? Everybody, turn your radios down, okay?
That's right.
All right? I might love European club house music, but I'm not sure I want to hear it
all day long
on 11. Yeah. That's right. With So, and by the way, for some of you younger kids out there, right, the Red Solo Cup Brigade, you know who I'm talking about, right? Same.
We were all there.
We're all there. Yeah. Okay. Let's move the games back.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move the games back so out of the way, and fellas, mostly, okay. Just because you pick up a football, you're not Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have this thing about, I don't know what it is, but everybody who's on a packed beach thinks that they're going to thread the needle all day long with that football.
Time to start reading the coverage.
That's right. That's right. So everybody does it. You see them, they pick up the ball, they start bouncing on the balls of their feet for about 8 minutes because they can't,
they can't find anybody open.
That's right. That's right. And they can't throw that far. And there's 700 people on the beach, and so there's not like, you're not going to run a hook route, or you're not going to run a post.
Not going to run that fade.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So move that to the back, move that away from those of us who are relaxing. Okay. Yeah. But by the way, as soon as you pick it up, you're not in high school again. You don't have the arm you had when you were 17, okay? No. You might have had 6 rotator cuff surgeries. Today's not the day to try to air this thing out, okay? Let's just
do yourself a favor and everybody else around you. Don't do it.
Do Mrs. Jones over here who doesn't want to take a football to the head, right? Because you can't thread the needle to your buddy, who, by the way, does not have hands like Jerry Rice. No. Let's all remember that, okay? So, again, that's one of my beach etiquette thing there.
All right, so what have we learned today from Jay? All right, so these are very important things.
Important lessons.
All right, so these I've got from Jay's introduction to the beach. These are the 3 things that I take from that. 1, the beach pass. The beach pass gives you the flexibility and the freedom to get to the beach at your leisure. And he mentioned, on the busy days, particularly the weekends, you need to get there early, right? So
yes.
you need to get there early and establish your real estate. And,
that's right.
The way when we do it, we always go to the same. The rule of thumb is we always go right. You go down the hill and you always go right,
nice.
Right? And so then everybody knows when people come at different times. Everybody knows where we're down to the right somewhere. And when it gets crowded, sometimes that's difficult. The second thing is, have consideration for everybody around you,
Well,
because
beach etiquette, sure.
everybody wants to be there. And you're right, it's going to get crowded. And if it gets crowded, so what? But then, think about like your radio, think about your football games, think about your full-size beach volleyball, your frisbees, your dog, right? The other thing, a lot of times people bring dogs to the beach. Like, I don't know, on busy days, maybe the dog doesn't need to go.
Don't leave him in the car. Don't leave him in the car.
Yeah, leave the area, the house might be good, right, yeah. So those are super important things, I think, that when the idea of, because really what Cape Cod is for us is going to the beach.
Oh.
That's pretty much everything revolves around going to the beach, and we joke around and say, well, it's almost like Groundhog Day. We do the same thing.
Yes.
And you know what? We've been doing the same thing for 35 years, and it's not getting old. Should it get old? Maybe.
I said to my sister the other day, I said, I have a question for you. I said, if I invited you to my house to go sit in a lawn chair in the parking lot of CVS for 9 hours and knock back some beverages, maybe have lunch, maybe throw a football around, I said, any interest? She said, what are you talking about? I said, but go to the beach and do it. You'll do 12 hours. No questions asked. And as the day goes on, it gets better. Right? The light changes, everybody leaves, it kind of quiets down a little bit, 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Favorite time of the day. That's my favorite time to be on the beach.
Mine as well.
Go figure. Favorite time to be on the beach, right?
Right. And then it's always great to go on sunny days, so because it's warm and it's fun and it's it's the beach. It feels like the beach. One of our favorite times to go is not on sunny days, because now I don't have the blazing sun, right? I don't have I have to go swimming to cool off if I don't want to, and if there's a seaweed issue or something like that, or a shark issue, but we'll get to that. Idea,
they're all great. There's no such thing as a bad day.
Yeah. And again, you get there and oftentimes when it's overcast, right? And I guess my point is, don't give up on the beach.
Yes.
The beach, everything revolves around the beach, right? Everything, all the Cape Cod experience revolves around going to the beach. Now, you're not going to go when it's pouring rain. You're not going to go.
How many times have you been there? You thought to yourself, it's kind of overcast and cloudy. Hour later, you're like, whoa, where'd the sun come from? Rolls right out,
That's
right?
the Cape Cod weather, right? The Cape Cod weather is, you look, whatever your weather app says, don't trust it.
That's right.
Don't trust it until, just trust whatever it says now.
Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground. All right, so always go to the beach all the time. Wear sunscreen. Beach etiquette, phenomenal time. Love those Cape Cod beaches. Can't thank you enough.
We'll be right back. We're going to take
we're
let's take it. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk about some other fun things to do in Cape Cod, and we'll probably talk about the beach again too. All right, we'll be right back.
And we're back. Money in the Law, My FM 101.3. Jay Marsden with the Marsden Law Group. John Drohan, Main Effort Financial, talking all things Cape Cod. This is why you're going to put your house in that Cape Cod Beach House Trust there.
It's a Cape Cod Beach House.
Cape Cod Beach House. You can name it whatever you want, but that's what we're talking about.
Marsden Law Group, that's what they have. That's what you buy. You
need to get them on Beach House package
on the website.
Welcome.
Go to our Cape Cod Beach House page.
Hold on, let me get you a clam roll, and we're going to sign up on your thing. All right. So what's next on the list?
All right. So you go to the beach, right? And most of the time you're going to go early, and you're going to wrap it up around whatever time you wrap it up.
Yep.
And then the question is, what am I doing next? What's next on the agenda?
Well, you have two options. One of them is either dining at home, or one of them is maybe let's step out on the town.
Let's just see
let's
see what's going on.
Let's go check out and let's see what's going on. Right? So where do you go? Well, where do you go?
Well, I'll go to the dining at home. So if we don't go to if we don't go to some place right after, then home will be it'll be some extravagant, some huge plan, right?
Some extravagant. We're going to cook basically everything we can get our hands on.
Any seafood we can find.
That's right. We're going to run the table on the seafood options, right? Go crazy.
So that and oftentimes that'll happen. But there will be times when we decide to go out. And
a couple of basics. Let me guess. Going burgers.
What you mean? What do we make?
What
burgers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. Oh, there's the basic meat. We call it the meat package,
nice.
right?
Excellent.
The beef and chicken. Although we did do pork, and I didn't go over so well.
You're gonna go basics. Blocking and tackling.
So there's the beef chicken package, which is essentially burgers, steak, and maybe some barbecue chicken, right?
Yep,
So like
absolutely.
some sort of barbecue chicken. And those are for, because every now and again, and we'll have strap hangers that'll show up, right? And they'll be like, oh, we don't like fish, or my kids will be like, oh, we don't want to have the clams or whatever.
Yep,
And
yep.
you're like, you look at them, you're like, why are you here? Why don't you go? Why don't you
run
go,
away.
Why don't you go on vacation in Nebraska or Omaha, someplace, right?
No disrespect. No disrespect.
No
Yep.
disrespect, but there's no clams there, so you don't have to worry about eating them, right? So yeah, so we have to do the kind of the basic stuff. We don't eat a lot of hot dogs, which I'm bummed out about because I love. I mean,
Me too.
yeah.
So easy, so easy.
Yeah,
I love them.
So
And
in
it's
fact,
like,
we
and
may
they're like
start
an appetizer. It's a great appetizer.
We may start bringing them back in.
Nice.
Start bringing them back
There
in.
you go.
So
Nice.
so. Yeah, so and then there's the seafood package, right? So the seafood package, and my mother, without a doubt, makes the best clam chowder on God's green earth.
Janet.
She does. And it's funny. So she'll listen to this and she'll get a little upset about it. Don't take this as a compliment, Mom. She made the other day when we were there. She's like, "Oh, I got some clam chowder," and of course, I have that Pavlovian drool that starts coming out of my mouth.
Yeah,
and she goes, "Yeah, it's Manhattan
I was
clam
just
chowder."
going to say Manhattan.
And right, and I'm like,
Yes.
and so I'm 51 years old. I've never ever. She's never made Manhattan clam chowder in my lifetime, and I'm like
In New England.
right? And like as I'm trying to stop my eyes welling up with tears, and I'm like, no, like why would you do that?
What are you doing? All of a sudden, 2 minutes later, the Eastham police show up. Ma'am, right this way. Watch your head, ma'am. We have to escort you off Cape. Goodbye. Back over the bridge until you've earned it.
So-
you're in a timeout off Cape.
So right, yeah, 30 minutes. Right. So I tried it. It was good. I mean, I'm not going to say it was good,
whatever.
but it wasn't what I was looking for.
No, for all the right reasons.
And but then in to kind of make up for it, she made this shrimp, like a shrimp corn chowder 2 days later, which was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Girl. So in addition to that, in addition to the excitement over the beach sticker, we also get fired up about getting our clamming license.
Oh,
So
that's on my list.
You want to talk?
That's on my list.
You want to talk about
Yeah.
a quintessential Cape Cod experience,
Yeah.
right? A couple of clamming rakes. Me, you talk about no technology, right? You're out in the clamming bed I'm out there with the kids. Anybody who's down, if the kids have friends that are down, we go marching out into the clamming bed. Everybody's got a rake over their shoulder. Give you a 10-quart bucket. You throw that around a float. You sit that there, and it's go to work time,
yeah.
right?
It's
and
work.
they see
You're
the
working.
beds. Yep, and they see the beds for you. So you're not out there forever, but you're out there having a great time. Everybody's talking. If the weather's nice, everybody's laughing. Everybody's having a good time. And I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many times when this is happening that I will stop and basically take a step back and just take it all in.
Yeah.
Because it's like a postcard.
Yeah.
It's like a postcard. It's like somebody said, hey, paint me a Cape Cod picture. What's it going to look like? A bunch of people standing around with clamming licenses on their hats.
Right.
Some people are
And
waiters.
and the water's not crystal clear. It's not like you're.
No.
I mean, this is nasty water.
It's a little bit of work.
It's thick,
Yep,
right?
yep.
And our joke is, how many times do you have like a great time and say, hey, I can't wait to go get my toes and feet eaten up by live crabs, because they're down there, right? They're all over the place.
Yep.
You're like, what's that? I don't know. That might be a crab, but you do it because it's so much fun.
It's so fun. The
I can't
kids
agree.
love it. The kids love it. You get a ton of them. And then the biggest challenge is, because I'm the only seafood guy in the house, so it's like, it's like that scene out of Forrest Gump, right? What do you do with clams? Well, you can have fried clams, you can have steamers, you can have clam chowder, you can have clam roll, you can have, Clams Casino, you can have Clams Rockefeller. I mean, you're making everything. You're like, clam recipe. You're Googling the daylights out of it, because you can move these things along. They don't hang around forever.
You don't know. You want to get them fresh, right?
So again, there's that opportunity, and then you talk about seafood. I mean, you go fishing, right?
Right.
Go fishing.
Yeah.
The best $11 you'll ever give the state, and give you a nice saltwater fishing license, and get out. And you know what? So you don't catch something. Okay, I was down on the beach.
Worst day of fishing.
All by yourself, hanging around. You wrap it up. But if you get lucky, you catch something, right? Bring it back.
Maybe
throw
you
it
can
on
eat
the
it.
grill. Eat it up.
There you
Good
go.
stuff. So again, and those things we talk about all the time. How would you spend your time? Those are low impact items. They don't cost anything.
No.
Once you invest in the tackle or the fishing rod, a couple of things, but get a license for $11, go entertain yourself. It's phenomenal. So great activities, great food items.
Yeah. So it's funny. So the guy who taught me how to clam was my old man. So my old man was So he's a kid. He grew up in New York.
Yeah.
He never got clam. He never went clamming before. He never walked in the ocean, right?
Oh, yeah.
And this is back in the day when for some reason, my dad didn't realize that you could actually use a rake. Like, he'd see the guys and he's like, no, those are for the pros. I'm not spending any money on
no way,
clam,
no way.
right?
Yeah.
He'd go in just bare feet and his hands, right? And we have
feel around for all the.
Oh yeah. Well, we should probably on our website we should probably dedicate some Cape Cod pictures for the Cape Cod to support the Cape Cod
it's funny.
show.
So you talk about the clamming rake. Like that's a whole thing, right? Oh, is that the Big Time 706 rake? That's a nice rake. That's nice. That comes with the handle, and that's a stainless steel one, right? I mean, it's like talking shop in the car area, right? oh yeah, that got the 3 times and the 5 times. So why? Next question. How come you're not going with the little rake? Because the little rake, you get a little more leverage.
3 to 5,
yep.
right?
That's right. There's a whole discussion. Now you wrapped an old noodle around the back of that. Give you shoulder leverage there, so when you pull, you drag it through that thing.
You can go all day.
That'll keep you going. It's good for the shoulder.
Sometimes you do 2. Sometimes I can do 2. Yeah, my brother can do 2. Yeah.
But the key to making it work on clamming is you have to make sure you have the right clammers to clamming equipment ratio, right? Because you're out there by yourself.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of work by yourself. You have fun. The weather's great. You'll be out there. But it's nice when you bring along a crew and everybody gets a rake and you're like, all right, guys, then you supervise. Get to work, everybody.
You're dedicated. If you're out there by yourself, you're dead. And you've told me that before.
I've gone and I've loved it. And you make a friend out there. It's fantastic.
Bye, everybody. I'm going clamming.
And everybody always talks to you.
It's like you're a hunter.
That's right. And everyone's asking you, hey, how long? How long did it take you? About an hour. Where'd you go? Hey, right over there. See where that eel grass is over there to the left of the buoy. Go to like 2 o'clock and then like hop up and down and then it's right there. It's right there. It's a hot spot. Keep it to yourself. I'm telling you, buddy.
Follow that guy.
Follow that guy. Yeah. Follow the guy with the heavy bucket.
So and then we were talking about food that we eat at the house. The one thing that we always get, there's a great seafood market called Hatch's Seafood, Hatch's Fish, right?
Yep, nice.
Which is in Wellfleet, right in the center of town. And so we always get swordfish. Yep. So swordfish is and for some reason the swordfish there tastes better than the swordfish here.
Sure.
And
that's because he just walked off the boat.
Probably because it just swam up, right?
Yep.
Jumped on the freezer, cut my head
off,
the cooler, cut my tail
Dice me up,
right?
dice me up.
Yeah, and put me on ice. Yeah.
All right, let's talk restaurants real quick while we're talking about food. So there's obviously the home-based option. We're going to cook it up at the house. That's great, and that's fantastic. Because usually you spend the whole rest of the night in your bathing suit, hanging around. Everyone's yucking it up. You just segue right into the post.
Right. He just moved it. Right? He picked it up and moved it to the house.
That's right. Now there's another option. The option is everybody comes home, take a shower, and then you go out to eat somewhere.
Yeah.
First and foremost, you're going to wait in line. Just so you know, and the reason I say this is because there's always somebody in front of you that says, I don't have a reservation. Well, we don't take reservations. Okay. But I don't have a reservation. I understand that. So it's going to be an hour wait. Okay. I'm not waiting an hour. Well, it's an hour wait. There's a lot of people here. And you watch them, the temperature goes up as they're losing their mind. And you're standing behind them saying...
And their kids are losing their mind too, right?
Because they think, I can't believe there's all these people here on summer vacation and I don't have a table in 5 minutes, right? So you're going to wait in line. So just FYI. So what do you do while you're waiting in line?
Sometimes there's things to do. There's a cooler that's still left over from the beach.
There's an overspill. They direct you this way. You can wait in line, and while you're waiting in line, if you want to sit outside at our bar and have a drink, we'll call you when you're ready. And by the way, just so you know, everybody, I know you're going to be surprised. When they tell you it's 45 minutes, it's not 45 minutes.
No, it never is.
It goes one of two ways. It's either an hour and 45 minutes, right? Or
and if it is at the bar,
whatever. Or it's 20 minutes, right? So it breaks either way. This is the lesson that I've taken away after years of doing that. Is your dining experience, okay? It doesn't begin when you sit at the dining room table. Okay? Your dining experience begins when you walk in the door of the restaurant with your family, with your friends.
And we're all here.
With people who you love, right? And you say, how long is it going to be till we get a table? It's going to be an hour. Do you want to wait? Why wouldn't I wait?
Don't ask. Exactly right.
I'm not in jail. Where am I going to wait? Over here? Talking to this nice guy, right? Serving me 12-year-old scotch. I'm in. I'll wait. I'm in no hurry. So everybody take a deep breath. Get the buzzy thing that they give you to put in your pocket. Give it to one of your kids to hold so they'll leave you alone. And then ignore them. And then go and spend adult time with your friends at some type of offshoot of the restaurant you're at and enjoy yourself. Relax.
It's like you got to ask yourself the right question. Like when you walk in, when they say, you say, do I want to wait for an hour for this table? Or do I want to spend the next hour with people that I love,
That's
with
right.
my family, maybe having a cocktail at this bar,
Yeah, maybe two.
laughing with my children, maybe giving my kids like, oh, would you guys like to drink? I bet you can't drink 5 Cokes. Here you go.
That's right. Who wants a Shirley Temple? Give them a Shirley Temple, right?
Exactly.
Then they feel like a big person. Oh, and guess what you might do? You might relive your awesome day at the beach, right? Hey, how about that?
Let's review.
Let's
You
go
gotta
back.
review.
That's
Yep.
right. Let's talk. What a great
How
what a
about
great
that
day.
catch you had, right?
Yep. Remember, when you fully extended, you fully extended, and I threw my shoulder out, right? But here's the other thing. What else are you going to do? Well, you didn't stay home, right? You all get dolled up to go out, so you're out. So enjoy it, own it, and if you can get in the car. You can say, "Oh, we're not waiting here. Let's go to another restaurant, like 2 seconds."
Let's go wait at another restaurant.
Let's go because there's probably going to be no line there. Now, first of all, if there's no line and there's 8 million people out, do you want to be there? That's the first question. So just stop. Just embrace it. Now, there are a couple of signature marquee locations that if you really want to get there, you got to plan for.
Yeah.
But guess what? There's a ton of other phenomenal restaurants that might even be better. So don't lock yourself in. Be flexible, calm yourself down, have a beverage, repeat all the great things that you did all day, and spend the quality time with your loved ones. Your dining experience begins when you walk
get out of the car.
in the door.
Yeah, get out of the car.
That's what you need to
So,
do.
all right. So right now, you're just wrapped it up at the beach. You can go to any restaurant you want. Which one are you going to for dinner?
So for dinner, I'll tell you, one of our favorite go-to, well, we just went to a couple places. My favorite go-to place, which you'll find me at almost any Friday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, working, by the way, working lunch,
your butt off.
is Skipper's Chowder House on the beach in West Yarmouth, right? You come off the beach, it's right there, right? There's 2 of them. There's a Skippies and a Skippers. This is the one that's along the beach, right? There's a nautical theme, right?
So that's good. So when your wife calls and says, "Where are you at?" You just kind of say, "I'm Skipper."
Why don't you call it? I was at Skippies. I've been looking for you all afternoon. Right? You told me you're going to Skippies. No, I told you to go to Skippers.
Yeah.
So it's right across the street from the beach. Phenomenal upstairs bar. Great location. The food's really good. And so if I get to go someplace, we'll go there. We went to the Cleat and Anchor the other day in Dennis. Had a phenomenal
That's up
meal
from you. That's a ways.
That's
a little bit of a ride.
We had an Uber for all the right reasons, and we had a phenomenal meal. They had some phenomenal live music. Wife and I were out kid-free. We had a fantastic time, and we are partial to, and we watched the U.S. Women's World Cup game Sunday from the outside back bar at Captain Parker's on 28.
Captain Park.
Yep.
Right.
Captain Park is a legendary stalwart, go-to.
Classic,
It's a classic. But they got a great outside back bar, and Whitney was the bartender. She hooked us up, super nice, and we had a great time sitting outside watching the Women's World Cup. I mean, it was fantastic. USA, go America.
Those are three good plugs right there. Three good recommendations.
Yep. If you're in my neck of the woods, what about you guys?
So one place that has been partial, that we've been partial to ever since I was a little kid. It's called Arnold's Clam Shack, right? And it's in Eastham, right? Right on Route 6. And the great thing about Arnold's is it's got the attached mini golf. So one of my favorite pastimes in Cape Cod is, although I'm a terrible golfer, I am an awesome mini golfer.
It's a skill set. It's a skill set.
I mean, I am as good as anybody I've ever seen.
Yep.
Maybe a little better. I know how to read the green. I know how to read if there's a dragon involved.
I know how to read the windmill.
If there's some sort of, I can rebound off the back. I am as good as you.
You're good at that.
I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying.
Stop bragging and back it up.
Don't play mini golf with me with money, because
good to know, everybody.
Yeah, you'll lose. You'll lose.
Good to know.
So
Arnold's Clam Shack, little mini golf attached.
And the great thing about Arnold's is it's one of those. It's a window service place, right?
Yep.
And they're all picnic tables. So as a kid growing up, they had like 8 picnic tables and the window service, but it seemed like it was the same food. So now, as they've evolved and they've kind of expanded a little bit. They've improved their. I think they've had a couple. I think Jack Nicklaus designed the golf course. Redesign.
Yeah. It's a lot of those down there.
Right. But now they have probably like 1,000 more picnic tables, and they have this outside this bar area where you can actually go up and get a drink and go sit at any picnic table you like.
Okay. All right.
And that was the first place that I ever drank Cape Cod beer. The local brewery, Cape Cod beer.
Iconic. Yeah.
And that's what they serve there. And and just like you said, you're gonna wait. Like you'll show up. I mean, if you've ever driven by at dinner time, in the height of the season, you'll see, there could be 50, 75 people that are kind of the line wrapped around, they have like the Disney queue up, area, and it moves fast, it moves quickly.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
But you got to wait, right?
Yeah.
So you can either complain about it and wait in line. And that's the other thing is not everybody has to wait in line, right?
Yep,
so
that's right.
Oftentimes it's dad, right? Dad's going to wait in
Always.
line. But if someone hands dad that Cape Cod beer and he's going to wait in line and you guys go sit or play over the picnic table, why don't you go play around a mini golf because no one wants to play with dad? I'm fine.
I'll be here.
Yeah,
I'll be here.
I'll be here, and I know what everybody wants. Even if you don't want it, I'm going to get it for you anyway.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
So they're fried clams. They're anything that comes off that menu. For some reason, it's like the catch of the day. Everything is it's fantastic.
Nice. So that's your go-to. All right. What else?
So that's our go-to. Another place which pretty much everybody knows about. When you think about Wellfleet, like up north, Wellfleet, the Beachcomber
needs no introduction.
Yeah, the Beachcomber, which has had they've had some issues lately because actually the Beachcomber, their parking lot fell into the water, or a good chunk of their parking lot fell into the water last year and the year before.
So they send you down the road.
Yeah.
By the way, we've talked about how there's a lot of places that you're going to go to and you're just going to relax.
Yeah.
The Beachcomber, one of those places that if you're going to move your day around to make sure you get somewhere, Beachcomber is one of those places.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Beachcomber's and it's a very popular place. It's a very and they have live music. So
I would schedule around that. That's
it's an event to get there.
That's right.
But you see the logo, you see the stickers, the T-shirts. I mean, anybody who's has been there at some point. So if you haven't been there, it's probably worth going to check out.
It's like going to Rome and not going to St. Peter's.
Exactly.
Yep.
So and then the last place is a place we recently went to, which I found out. They've been hiding this from me. My sister and my brother. We went to Provincetown.
Phenomenal.
So in Provincetown, there's a million different restaurants, a bunch of fantastic restaurants and bars. This place is right above the Ben and Jerry's, and it's called John Doe's Pizza. And Doe spelled D-O-U-G-H, right? John Doe's Pizza. Yep. And they had and we were just there, and we were sitting outside this past weekend. It was on Saturday. Remember, we had some pouring rain.
Yes.
Yeah. So during that pouring rain, I had just enough overhang over me where I had some John Doe's Pizza, and we all sat at the outside area, which was
great.
And so then it turns out I'm like, why are we here? And my sister's like, oh, this is where me and Beaver. That's my brother's nickname. This is where me and Beaver go every time we come up and everybody goes shopping.
And that's a full day event, and just do yourself a favor, pull in, pay whatever you're going to pay to park, right? Don't question it. Don't drive around. Don't be like, oh, it's $20 to park the mill. We're going to find it for two. You're not going to find it for two. Okay, pay the guy, park the car, and walk around and enjoy everything the P-Town has to offer you because it is awesome. Yeah. And again, it's that quintessential Cape Cod experience. Right. You're walking around down there, the tiny shops, the narrow streets. There's a lot of great places to pop in and out of.
A lot of great people watching.
That's a lot of great people watching.
A lot of great people watching.
Do a little bar hopping, buy some nautical stuff, all that good stuff. But it's a great location. And if you really want to go lights out, bring your bikes.
Yep.
Then you can really cover a ton of ground, get a little exercise. You work up a hunger for those clams or a lobster roll or something like that. But you're getting into it at that point. So that's good. That's
I feel like we're scratching the surface right now. We could do a whole. All right, so I think we're about out of time.
We're out of time. Yeah. It's we're 48 in. We have some commercial time. We're gonna probably gonna be inundated by a bunch of Cape Cod commercials right now. Tom is on his way. As he heard us do the show, he jumped in the car.
Driving.
Right now he's driving up and down 6 and 6A with a bunch of pamphlets selling the 101.3.
If you got any questions about Cape Cod, go to moneyinthelaw.net. Yeah, moneyinthelaw.net. We'll answer all your questions about it. If you have any questions, send them directly to us, and we'll have to. I think we'll see if we can get some. We'll see if we can get some old Cape Cod pictures.
Now
up
remember,
on the website.
These experiences right here. These are why you want to give these experiences, give these memories to your family going forward. This is why you protect the beach house. This is why you put yourself in a position to make sure that your kids can say down the road, I am so glad the old man listened to those two guys on the radio and did this because now I'm doing the same things with my kids that my dad did with me, and I'm paying it forward.
These are the best fried clams I ever had.
This is fantastic. And these were not the ones that we found down in the basement. These are good, fresh ones. Good to go.
All right. Any questions? Like I said, moneyinthelaw.net. We'll see everybody next week. Maybe we'll talk a little more Cape Cod. Maybe you may have visited and have some more things.
In Cape Cod. We'll see what happens.
You'll never know. All right. We'll see everybody next week on Money in the Law, My FM 101.3. Jay Marsden, John Drohan. See you next time.
Surf's up.